It's been so long. I feel like
Yeah, yeah, it's been
since
It feels like it's been a month, and it's only
we've
been
done a
like
podcast.
no, cause we came in, cause you and Q was doing one, and I came in on. That was
Was
the
we
last
doing a
one.
podcast?
Yeah,
Are you fucking sure?
we filmed two that day. Cause remember
Okay.
we got back into the lion discussion.
Yeah, the lion discussion
Yeah,
about lions being fucking dominant, which is wild. Your shit's still beeping.
yeah, that's crazy.
Also, get into it, dude. President Trump.
Our next president, which you need to start saying, respect the troops. All right, cause he's about to be our next president, and
Somebody shot at him.
bro, the conspiracy theories are going wild about it. I don't at first when it originally happened,
It looked a little
it
weird.
looked a little weird.
It's like, how do you not know you're getting blasted at?
And of course, the infamous picture that's going around, him with his fists up, and then the American flag right behind. It looks too good.
Like,
It looked too good.
who was down there in the front taking the fucking photos like that?
But what
Shout out that motherfucker.
what got me, the only thing that got me thinking that Trump had nothing to do with it. Let me say that. Let's say it could have been a setup by his team or whatever. I don't know,
Mm,
a stage. But I will say Trump did not know. And the reason why is because I was expecting Trump to come out talking crazy.
yeah,
Talking crazy, talking like 50 Cent right after he got shot. Talking
talking
crazy.
wild.
But he's not. He's being
No,
real humble about it. Him at
I
the
mean, did you see
DNC,
like the photos of like the Secret Service? They're fucking strapped up and shit. You know what
the
I
lady
mean?
that was running the Secret Service that was running that team there,
Yeah,
she went to the DNC where and they pressed her. How can you let somebody get like this to Trump? How can you da 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 da? And she's got to go in front of Congress.
oh shit.
Yeah, she's about to have to go in front of Congress and explain herself. Um, but
I
let
mean,
me ask you this: do you think it was a setup? Do you think it's real? What's your thoughts on it before we
I
ride that?
mean, I hate to say this, but I feel like yeah, like damn, somebody tried to shoot the fucking president, the ex-president. Like somebody was like, they were fucking feeling some type of way, bro.
Well, cause they got to his computer,
Now, how come they didn't shoot this dude before he shot at the president? Because, like, apparently, like, the sniper seen him
people seen them, people reported them.
and then, like, the head turn. I'm like, holy fucking shit. This dude almost blew this guy's head off on live
Yeah,
TV.
yeah,
Would have been some fucking JFK shit in 4K. Like,
yeah,
got him in 4K.
yeah,
Holy shit. Dude was wearing some YouTuber shirt that, some Demolition Ranch. He's like a white dude that does firearms and shit.
hmm
And like the shooter was wearing his shirt. Now, shout out to Demolition Ranch because he's not like a bad dude. I don't think
yeah.
he's like, and that's one thing I like about that guy is like he's not like very political. Now, like obviously he's like firearm friendly, so like everybody's gonna assume like he's a fucking right wing fucking
Well,
banshee.
it's kind of like the same thing with
But the Demolition Ranch guy isn't. He
yeah.
doesn't ever like bring politics up like in his shit. Like obviously, if you shoot fucking guns, you're
I
you
think
believe in the right to bear arms. I'm
I,
assuming.
yeah, I think it's the same thing that happened with that person that made that deep sea diving to go see the Titanic.
Mm.
Remember the remote control he had controlling it? It was a gamer control, and that company's stock went down after that, even though they had
Oh
nothing to do
yeah,
with it. So it's the same effect. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Something bad happened, your name got brought up in it. It just don't
yeah,
look good. Um,
yeah. And he made a little video. He was like, "All right, yeah, the fucking dude was wearing my T-shirt, but
I
it's
don't know.
I don't know him. Hey, go buy the T-shirt.
Yeah, I
Kind
mean,
of good, kind of good,
what?
kind of bad.
Because what do you do in that situation? Do you try to capitalize financially on it? You know
I
what I mean?
mean,
Or do
no,
you
I
try
think he
to?
did the right thing. I think he's like, hey, I'm not fucking really like down with that shit. I don't really swing either way with like he's not very political because like you could be a fucking left now and like be a gun guy.
Yeah,
Like, you could
yeah.
be like a horny gun weirdo.
You know what I mean? You just feel like you have the right to bear arms, or you know what I mean? Like all of us grow up watching action films. We all want to be John Wick. You know what I mean?
And I
We
mean
all
like
want to be
bro,
John
we
Wick.
grew up in Grand Theft Auto days and I don't
Yeah.
even like This kid was like under 30. You don't hear
Yeah, he
anybody
was
over
like
30
20.
being like a school shooter, do you?
He was like, he was.
I mean, I said school shooter, but I mean, this guy was fucking basically.
Well, technically, our generation started it off actually with
Really?
that made it mainstream. I
I
think
thought the
because it
dudes
was
who shot up
Columbine.
Columbine
That's what I'm about
wasn't
to
even
say.
like 30 years old. They were just like high
That
school
I'm
kids
saying
or some shit.
that was our generation when that happened.
Right, but they weren't like 30.
Yeah, but
Like they like a
oh, no, but you're not
yeah.
30 in school either, though.
No, but like
30-year-olds has done mass shootings, like the gay
yeah, but not
club.
at schools though. It's like
Not
it's at a weird place like gays
well, again, 30-year-olds not in
or
school. You know what I mean? They going to clubs, they
fuck.
going to the movie theaters. That's where things have happened. But back to the Trump thing. If
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
mean, like
think
just as like a bland, like I don't think it was fake. I think holy shit, this dude might have slept all night on the fucking roof of that fucking.
Well, no, there's people that was like just because everybody had their cameras out before then, right? You know what I mean? There's footage of him over there by that building, just looking around, kind of casing it. Um, there's video of him. People took of him being on the roof, and I mean in position.
Mm.
So that's why there's a lot of questions of if
Where did
this
they
was,
shoot him at? Did they shoot him in the head or?
it was a headshot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that sucks
Could you
because
imagine being at the fucking ride? Like, didn't somebody get shot there?
all I know is I'm going. If he comes down here, which he should, I'm sure he's going to. I'm
Mm.
going. We going to one of his rallies.
We got to at
We
this
got to
point.
pull up.
Fuck, we got to be part of the fucking.
I just gotta, cause Trump rallies got, even back then it had a name. You know what I mean? It had an aura to it. You know what I mean? It looked lit.
I
So,
mean, he's just saying the most like absurd shit at his rallies.
but see, this is the thing that got me thrown off because after the shooting, where you think that he's
Mm.
about to go crazy because he gave a speech at the DRC, at the DNC, he was like, "No, we need to come together. It's all about unity, and I shouldn't even be here right now. And I'm just for,
Who?
I mean, he
Who
was real
said that?
humble.
Who said that?
Trump,
Trump?
he was just humble. I
Mm.
expected him to hit the stage. They try to take me out. I can't be defeated. Like I thought I was getting that Trump, but we got the humble Trump.
What's crazy is it's a dude who like obviously likes firearms, but he's shooting the dude who's like not trying to take him away.
Yeah.
But the dude who is trying to take him away, like they're not shooting at that guy.
Well, supposedly, again going back to this computer, um, they talked about the same times that he was searching for images of Trump, he was searching for images of Biden.
Oh,
And
so
it
he
seems
didn't even
like
have like a fucking. He was just like no
no, no, no.
preference.
What we're thinking is we're assuming that he wanted both. He wanted Trump and Biden. It's just
So he's like, "Fucking, I'm just gonna blow one of these guys up."
I think his plan was to do both.
Does he look like the CIA or FBI probably set this shit up? Like, hey, I mean, he's kind of special looking, kind of slow, kind of different, weirdo. Probably got picked on in school.
Well,
And
some
like, because like we've talked about bullying, and I don't want to bring bullying back. I don't think bullying should come back as like a thing. It's like you hear people say that dumbass shit.
people say that he was bullied. I
Yeah,
mean,
but no, do you hear that now? I think this is a good time to transition over into something more. But bullying,
bullying? Like, what do you mean?
because like it's like just like you just said, if the dude said that he was bullied, or some of his classmates said he was bullied, it's like because I keep hearing that. I keep hearing shit people say, like, and I've probably even been guilty of this shit, where it's like, yeah, we need to bring bullying back. Remember the days where, we made fun of Alfred for smelling like shit. Well, dude, I look back on those days, like, I didn't really feel that good telling Alfred he smelled like shit.
I think you're thinking a little too deep into this.
I,
Bullying
I'm,
is
I'm really
always
not, though. I'm really just
bullying.
like,
Bullying is always going to be around because you have a
yes.
hierarchy within
But,
a
like, when
classroom.
you say, like, bullying should come back, you're thinking of, like, something that's you're not talking about just like give me your lunch money, punk, or slapping the books out of a little
You don't
scrawny
think that's
kid's
still going
hand.
on?
Yes,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is they're like, oh, we need to bring bullying back. Yeah, well, this kid just tried to shoot at either one of the fucking candidates for the presidency. Like, he wasn't leftist or rightist. He was like he was wanting to fucking kill either one of them fucking weirdos. So it's like bullying shouldn't come back to where it's like you're like you're like taking the word bullying instead of like, okay, I'm knocking the books out of somebody's hand, or you call somebody stinky or fat, or like I push you, instead of like really like bullying, like maybe doing
I don't think
like a
this.
more concentrated bullying.
I don't
You see
think.
what I'm getting
Yeah,
at?
yeah. I don't think this
Because
is
it's
gonna.
different between like I got bullied, like a dude pushed me down, or DJ was bigger than me and DJ fucking pushed me to the ground, because I was like, your sister's fucking hot, and DJ was like, that's my sister, bitch, push me down. That's cool, but like it would be crazy if DJ came up to him and was like, you just like going like off the like, because like today like kids can say the most meanest shit.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well, again, one thing again, I
Cause
think.
like I ain't gonna lie, I felt bad in sometimes whenever kids were bullying like Alfred. Like there was a dude named fucking Alfred in my fucking class, and I'll never forget. Like I was friends with that motherfucker. I didn't give a fuck that he smelled different because one day he got on my dad's bus, and I seen where he lived, and I seen a bunch of dogs running around, and I was like, oh shit, he just doesn't have a clean ass fucking house like mine. Like they let their dogs inside.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Yes, he might have pissed on fucking Alfred's pants. That's the only clean pair of fucking pants Alfred had. He had to fucking wear them. So it's kind of fucked up that dudes keep going up to him like, Alfred stinks, son. He smells like shit. And I'm kind of like, damn, hell yeah, he does. But in my head, I really want to be like, no. Like, that's fucked up. Like, instead of just giving into it like I just did, like, yeah, Alfred, you stink. But really, wholeheartedly, I'm fucking going home like, man, I don't give a fuck if he stinks or not. That's really not even my business. Because he ain't around. Like, and you know what's crazy, bro? Is like, I look back on that moment and I'll never forget this. Like, Alfred had a couple of friends that committed suicide. Like at Mansfield. Like they picked on these people fucking hard enough to where they committed suicide. And one dude did it whenever like the bus pulled up. Like he timed to where he hung himself on the front porch, and then when the bus pulled up,
Yeah, everybody will see it.
yes. Like he did that shit. And we had like a couple days off school for that. But that was Alfred's best friend, right?
Mhm.
Type shit. And then like Alfred would always like there would be those classes where like I had to sit by him.
Mhm.
And like we would talk and shit. I'd be like, hey man, how you? And like, what you got going on? Like I would treat him as a normal motherfucker, bro. Yes, there was times, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel bad about this part because it was people that influenced me to fucking treat Alfred that way. I was treating him one way in one class, and in the other class it was like, you stink, shut the fuck up.
Mhm.
Dude, last class you just fucking said what's up. Like,
Mhm.
we're fucking friends. But it was fucked up because we'd go to another class, or like maybe we're outside of class, and he would talk to me. He'd be like, yeah, man, he's like, you got that geometry homework or whatever? I'm like, yeah, here, just take it, bring it back. Or I'm gonna bring it back next class. People would see me talk to him and shit, and they wouldn't like say anything then, but they would say slick shit. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and I just feel like that type of bullying don't need to be brought back.
Again, I
Like,
think that type of bullying is still here.
it is.
But I think what you're saying is you don't want to see a increase of
Yes.
it. I don't think
Now,
that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
because like, there's a weird line of like toughening somebody up and bullying them.
Yes,
You
yes.
know what I mean? I think we get that shit fucking. And like, yes, I'm not saying like, oh, it's your right to toughen each other up as men. We need to toughen each other up. But no, like,
The
you
only
know,
time in our lifetime we seen a rapid in bullying was after the 9/11.
yeah.
That was more of a racial thing, I think, if anything. That's why
But you
before
know
we even
what's
started this,
crazy?
I said I'm glad that it was a white person involved because if it would have been a
Mm-hmm.
minority, I think it could have ended a lot differently.
It's like
Um,
that last little school shooter who shot up a fucking, what was it, a Christian school, and it ended up being like a trans female that was trying to be a man, or
I don't know about that situation.
yeah, and they shot her. Yeah, she went into a fucking a Christian school or something like that, and like the news and media was portraying it as like a fucking, but I don't know where I'm getting off of that, but it's like oh yeah, because you brought up the 9/11 thing, so it's like, like that was like, even then, like when I seen 9/11, I was so young. I didn't go to school and be like, my Indian friends are fucking pieces of shit. What's crazy
I remember it.
is it took me a couple of years before, when I seen it with my own eyes, when I heard somebody say like, "Oh yeah, he's a fucking raghead," and I'm like, no, I'm not. In my head, I'm like, not really. Like his mom's cool. His dad's really cool, actually. Like,
It was a
They
wild
don't
time in
fucking.
America.
It was,
It
wasn't
was a
it?
wild, because I remember two things, a good and bad. I remember
Wow.
America being so American. I remember like I felt like everyone was like unified in this trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad side was a whole minority, several minority groups just got treated real shitty. And what was really messed up is like it would be someone that was there their entire life. They grew up with you.
Yeah.
You know their parents, you know what I mean, they came over to your house or whatever, blase,
Yeah. You
and
went to
then
the.
that happened, and
Yeah.
then it was just like
A fucking 360.
it,
Dad.
yeah,
Dad don't want you going over there no
yeah,
more.
it was some wild stuff. So,
Tripping.
but again, I don't think it's an increase of bullying is going to happen over this, but I do feel like there's just a lot of tensions in the air. There's a lot of questions in the air.
And you know what else I ask? I ask a few people at I've just asked a few people this don't matter where they are or where I asked them at. But I've asked a few people, I'm like, yo, how do you feel about public schools? And you're hearing it more and more, man. Like you're hearing it more and more. I'm not gonna put my kids in public schools. You're hearing it more and more and more. And what if they don't want us to have our fucking kids in public schools? What if that's the drive? What if that's like how fucked up can we make this to where how far will people go
Well, the thing
for
is,
convenience?
with Saint, another thing though, that's overlooked, that don't get viewed a lot, is that public schools get shot up too.
The
It gets shot
most,
up too.
no, the most. I'm saying that. And I'm saying that and that because like a lot of people I ask, I'll bring up the fact like, how do you feel about this? Like, yeah, well, that's why I'm not gonna put my kids in public schools is because of
Well,
like public schools are the easiest place to fucking just.
yeah, some. Because there's
And then
some. Hold on.
now it's ramping up.
Because
You're
there's
seeing
some.
fences around
That's what I'm about
shit.
to say. There's some public schools that actually they will pat you down in the front versus a private
It's
school.
becoming a city and a state thing now, which it should have been
It's,
from the get go.
and it is also something to be said
What's
of
crazy
what
is
do
the
you.
government didn't say, "Hey, we should have a fucking armed fucking person at every public fucking school." What the fuck are they not thinking?
Yes, but you shouldn't as well, because that's a bad message you are sending to children.
Well, it sucks, yes, but in elementary, you can like doll up the shit to where it's like, no, they're not walking through a fucking
Yeah,
metal detector. They'll make them walk through a fucking arch.
yeah. The weapon ain't shown on the officer. He's in regular clothes, so
Yeah,
you can buffer it up
he's
a little
Mr.
bit.
Rogers. He's
Yeah,
hey, how you doing? He's just the
yeah.
guy
He's
who
the Hulk.
holds the fucking auditorium doors open every day.
Yeah,
He's a janitor.
yeah.
Why are we hiring real pedophiles as fucking? That's crazy to me. They don't put nothing in fucking place, and then they expect, oh well, it gets bad to where the city and the state will do something about it. That's fucking crazy.
Again, it's a multi-layered
It's crazy to
situation.
think about because like yeah, like your kid should be safe going to public school. It's just a fucking. It's like the library for adults. We don't go there and think like I'm gonna get fucking banged up here.
I think we're looking at it wrongly. I think we're looking at it with the mindset of, look, these things is going to happen. What can we do to prevent it from happening on site versus trying to
It's
tackle. Hold
prevented.
on, hold
Yes,
on.
I like what you said. You said prevent. I would like to prevent.
Yes, but that's the whole having an officer there type of thing. But why don't we dial it back to what is happening in our society that is making that mind of want to do that? Because okay, let's say you
that's a good thing
so
to talk about too.
let's say you do have it to where that officer's there. So now he feel comfortable. Well, he don't feel comfortable going to school because he feel like he don't get enough rounds off. Now either that's going to happen at home now, or he's harming his little sister or the kid down the road or
Or
his
like he's
parent.
not shooting his gun enough, but it's not even about shooting your gun as
But
an officer. Like you're supposed to
no,
protect and
not the
serve.
officer.
Okay.
No, the kid.
Oh, the
Yes.
kid. So we're talking
I'm
about
talking about
like
the kid is being deterred from doing a school shooting because there's an officer there, right? 'Cause
okay,
that's one
okay.
of the fixes we're saying we should
We'll
do.
see. No, like, well, no, because then like
No, because if you
a
can't
school
do it at
shooter,
school,
like he like shows up with the gun like out.
yes, but
He's not
no, that's
sneaking it
sometimes.
in, right?
No, no, yes, you sneak in. There's a lot of students that have snuck in. They didn't just get dropped off and was at the gate, like at the door, like blaze them up. No,
Okay,
no, no. There's
okay.
a lot of
There's
kids.
probably different ways.
Yes, there's
See,
different
when I
ways.
think of school shooting, I think of any other American thinks is like, oh, dude pulls up, is he's
Yeah,
armed,
John Wayne out the
he's shooting
fucking
the front
yeah,
door, like
and it's
because they're
not that.
getting wild now. That one dude looked for like an open door. Like he knew he couldn't just walk through the front door, so he looked for an open door.
But nonetheless though, I do feel like if you was to make the school, let's say you made it fucking where they could see through your pants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cannot bring a weapon.
Like a football game where you have to have like a clear bag as
Yeah.
a lady or a man.
There's some schools that do have it to where you gotta have a clear backpack and all that. But okay, so yeah, you stopped it. You stopped that student from doing it there, but you didn't stop what that student is about to do in the public. Because that person that still had that same mind to do that isn't going to be like, oh, there's an officer here, or they can check me anytime, so I'm just not going to do nothing for the rest of my life. That's not how that
Right.
works. He's going to find a way to let that out, and if that happens, when it happens, it's just going to be even worse, I feel. So if we do not come up with a system of how we can negate what's making a child mind do that type of thing,
Neutralize
yeah,
it.
neutralize it from the root, then we're gonna always it's gonna turn into something that's the Walmart shootings is gonna get crazy. Like,
Yeah, and what's crazy is like even Walmart, you think about they're checking my receipt, but the real threat is somebody coming here just blowing everybody down. What you're really worried about. Oops, I forgot to scan my fucking Xbox One.
yeah,
Sorry, I mean, this guy's shooting people. No, hey, sir, where's your receipt?
but as a company, I mean, shit.
Sir, what if they
That's why I
what
go.
if they started hiring like ex linemen and like ex as door greeters for Walmart?
I
Can I
know.
get your receipt, please? No. Clothesline.
I know some places they only hire ex-military for their like security. That me or you?
That's you.
Oh, that's you. Play. Oh no, that is me. But yeah,
They only hire ex military for
I mean, there's certain
for
places it's like
security and
that for
shit.
security. Yeah,
Hmm.
for those type of reasons. But
What if you had to get patted down every time you went somewhere? What if it gets that serious? Like anywhere you went, Nail Tech, gas station. I mean, you just get patted. There's a dude outside. He's like, "Nah, man, lift your shirt up."
we'll be angry at first, but if companies continue to do it,
What's crazy is what
even
you're
besides,
saying. People will be like, going to the gas station. Don't take your gun, dumbass. You know he's checking.
you know, it's something I never fully understood
All right.
is okay
All right.
when you go to any gas station, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're traveling the road, and you have an ID.
Mm.
Why don't you have to like scan your ID for anything, like even to get gas, just to see if you have a warrant for your arrest, just to where
Well, I mean, that's where freedom is like.
that doesn't go against
Yeah,
freedom.
like okay, so like I'll leave Fort Smith. I'm like, boom, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah, and you're in
If
Texas,
I
gotta stop and get gas.
if I stop and get gas in Texas, yes, you should not. The Texas database should not be able to run my fucking name and be like, oh, this guy's getting gas at the Sunoco on fucking 78. He's got a warrant for his arrest. We're fucking lock the gas station. That's fuck that.
I think that will
No.
happen. I do think that
Because
will
what's
happen.
crazy is this is how they think. They're like, okay, if this dumbass is just like driving around getting gas, we'll catch him. Let him burn his shit up. Let him keep burning his ends up. That's how America. That's how we. That's how we think. We'll just let him get away with it till we get him.
As of right now,
Like a dude climbed on a building, was like he was casing out the fucking building.
yeah.
People were recording him, and they weren't like, "Yo, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's probably casing the building to shoot Donald Trump or something, huh?"
No,
Dudes are recording this shit, going like, "Look at this fucking guy!
that will also makes that
Holy
crazy.
shit! Holy sh! He's fucking shooting!" There's a rest in peace to the guy who shielded his fucking family from the bullets. And did you watch the video? There's like a bunch of like West Virginia people around him. Like he's like, he's shot in the head. He's shot in the head. There's like dudes standing up. They don't give a fuck. They're just like fire. Dude still shooting shit. He's shot in the fucking head. Somebody's like behind him and shit. Like you know what I mean? It's like it's a wild, chaotic moment. Have you seen the fucking footage?
Yeah, I seen the footage.
Like people are like they're so stunned. They're just like,
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
we don't know what to do. Get down. Fuck, he's shot in the head.
like, yeah, it's a shooting. Yeah,
Like it's not like war though. It's not like you hopped off the D-Day U-boat, or whatever the fuck, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like death is gonna happen. Like you were at a Trump rally. You don't think fucking
it never happened before.
dude?
Why
Why
would you
are
think it's going
people
to happen
shooting at
now?
Trump? He is for the bullshit, and people are still fucking.
Both sides have their radicals. Both sides.
Nobody wants to shoot at Joe for doing. I like smelling kids' hair, and it's okay. It's fucking.
And again, what the evidence shows is
What
that
do you
he
mean?
was going to do both. The evidence showed that he was going to do both. This wasn't
Is
a
that but what you're saying? Don't you think that's kind of funny? He was gonna do both, but he shot at
I
the
think he
most
was doing.
important.
I think he was doing
All
something
right, so
that
this is
we
what
all
we
thought
fucked
of.
up when we killed John F. Kennedy. We gotta say we were gonna shoot them both, guys. We can't just fucking. What a good way to cover that up. That's a good way. We're just gonna say he was gonna shoot them both. What do you think? I'm trying to think what I was about to say. I was gonna ask you. I was like, okay, so what do you think?
About the whole ordeal.
Yeah, do you think that he was like gonna shoot like do you think that he just went to the closest person he could get to?
Yeah, I think he at the time that he said I'm going to do something, he looked up who's coming first to my area. It just so happened to be
Mm,
Trump, and it was on site for him. Now,
okay. Do you think that he used this as
trying to make a
clout
political
like a
clout.
clout
No,
chasing?
no. I think I think he was a person that wanted to be accepted by the masses, and the masses have overly stated because before Trump this happened, it was the narrative was
Is
why hold on. The narrative was why do we got these two old people running? Nobody want them to win. So if you got picked on and you alienated and you want to be the hero and you want to change America for the better, you
right.
take these two people out, forces the hand of Americans to pick two different running mates. You
Isn't it crazy too that what if he was just thinking like this like somebody has said this before, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's too easy to just shoot. I don't know why anybody hasn't just shot him already.
No, I think the narrative
Maybe he
was
was showing how easy it was to like you could really like, dude. It didn't make sense. Like, why is Donald Trump doing this like outside, like outside, like literally? Why aren't they doing this shit like in a safe area, like a convention center,
well for
which isn't very safe, but like
yeah yeah that's not shit.
But then he has to, like the shooter has to run through the door first, so he's not like on a roof, like got time to like.
Well, I think moving forward, that's because rallies historically has a lot of famous speeches has been said outside. But I think
And you're right, because Abraham Lincoln didn't even get shot at a rally. He got
no, like I
shot at
said,
a goddamn fucking
yeah,
show. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna go watch this fucking
yeah.
hip."
So,
Hey, that guy lived. They let that guy live.
but with no, he got shot at the precinct.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Holy shit! At the precinct,
yeah. He was doing
somebody
the
shot
catwalk.
his bitch. Are you
Yeah, when they brought
serious?
him out to do the catwalk, so to take the pictures and everything, a dude
You think
came up
that was
on
a
him.
setup?
Yeah, that's what everybody is saying.
Mm.
That's what adds to the lore of the JFK assassination. Um, do do the shooting, gets picked up by
Do you
police.
think that John F. K. or Robert F. K. is gonna could possibly be the new president of the United States of America?
I'll never forgive you for you taking that 2 seconds out of my life.
I'm sorry,
I would
but
never.
was it pretty good?
No,
Okay, it was a little good.
like it.
Are you sure it doesn't really sound like what he would sound like if he was talking to you right now?
No, I think he'll be like this
Like Robert, we're
right
talking
now.
about Robert. He's doing a whole campaign. He's got people behind him.
You ain't gonna get it. Trump is our new president.
You know, when my brother got shot, it was a whole different time. He's like the wrestlers. What is that wrestler was it Iron Claw that Zach played?
I haven't seen that movie, but I know I know what family you're
It
talking
kind
about.
of scares me because it just shows
That's
that
a
like
wild
those kids
story.
were kind of slow.
That was a wild story,
The Claw.
bro. That was a wild story. Speaking of,
And like what was it, what caused them to kill themselves? Like,
I'm thinking it was CTE.
yes, bro,
I'm thinking it
you
was
took the
CTE.
words right out of my mouth. I thought, well, I mean, they had to be getting slapped, bang around.
Yeah,
That was when
since
wrestling
they was a
was kind
kid.
of hard.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
real hard. Yeah,
like dudes took that shit so serious. Like, no, we're really like our agility is like 99. We're not just
wrestling.
slapping people. There was like real slaps, punches, and
People forget
you
wrestling.
know
It's not that it's fake. It's that it's rehearsed.
how
That's the big
real
difference.
can you make this look to look
Yes,
fake?
and some things got to be real
Yeah.
to make it look. You know what I mean?
I
So
like what you said right there.
yeah,
You know, some things have to like you
it's
have to
this is a rehearse. This is like a ballet.
mm,
Um, but when that bitch falls to the floor, that shit's real. You know. So, but uh, that whole family. If y'all have not, if y'all don't know about the family that we're talking about, just a quick thing. Y'all need to look
yeah.
up that family.
And I think it's good
Oh
that
my
you
god,
watch the movie and then you watch the real shit because the movie is
the
a
movie.
good it gives you like a good platform and then when you watch the real shit you're like, damn, it's darker than the movie.
Well, there's a
Because they
thing.
didn't even want. I mean, like, think about the family. They didn't want to put most of that shit. Like, they had to portray the movie in a
It's such a way.
uprising way. Yeah,
And some and
yeah,
the dynamics was a little off because the director just felt like trying to keep people along for the story. So
yeah.
there's a
Like he didn't want to be like, oh, these dudes just fucking like
so
killed themselves.
there's a docu series called Dark Side of the Ring. They do these like dark stories of wrestling, and they
Okay,
got one about this family. If y'all check it out, they go through every detail of what happened with that family. When I tell you, shit don't stop for that family.
it doesn't,
It doesn't stop for that family.
and I
Sadly,
like that dark side of the ring.
Dark
I
Side of the
like
Ring
I
was
like the
dope.
dark side of comedy. Have you seen that? You know, where
Yeah,
Ralphie May. A lot of people look over Ralphie May, man. Shout out the legend from Fayetteville, Arkansas,
yeah,
Ralphie May. Shout out
and
his will to want to be something.
Patrice O'Neal.
And you know what's crazy is I watched a lot of Ralphie May shit. And you know what gets me going is like we've been to Fayetteville so many times. Me and you, all the team, everybody
Hmm.
that's that knows about Long Story Short show. And I tried to push my glasses up on
Yeah, I saw that.
safety glasses on, but you know what you don't hear Ralphie May ever talk about how proud he is to be from Fayetteville, and especially me, I'm like, I love being from Fort Smith and like I'm proud to be from, he said he was from Texas. At one point he said he was from LA.
He's
He lives there. Now I get that, but I look back on those times and I hear Ralphie May say some shit like if you watch some of his interviews, he'll say it slick. He'll be like, now if you want to do comedy, you don't need to be going to no goddamn coffee bar. Okay, you don't need to be going to no fucking and he's talking about Fayetteville because he didn't have nowhere. It's such a beautiful city. It's got so many people. It's got everything, an audience. It's age. It's got youth. It's got all that. But what Ralphie's seen and what we see is like kava bars. You don't want to go to the gay fucking. You ain't gonna make a name. That you gotta hit the fucking road, dude.
yeah.
You gotta go to Little Rock where it might not be as poppin'. And
Well,
but that's where the loony bin is. That's where the comedy club is.
yeah, but also with him with Rafi May, he had a tricky start. He didn't have the traditional
Well,
white comedian start
I'm just saying that he
because
never like praised Fayetteville.
yeah, he
Nobody
never
knew
did.
that he was from Arkansas.
No, I can't say that because I do remember seeing one of his specials where he does talk about moving from Arkansas, Texas,
Texas
and I want to say Oklahoma.
for a little bit, or
Yeah,
maybe, but then
it
he
was
moved to
something.
LA. He moved
Yeah, he
from
moved to
Dallas,
LA. Yeah,
and then he said he was from Houston
but
or Dallas.
with him, a lot of people don't know he started on the chicken circuit, the black comedy scene first,
Yeah.
and
Well, he talks about that too. He talks about how there was nowhere in his city to go, so he would every weekend he would go to Little Rock, and that's how he kind of got his foot in the doors because he couldn't. His jokes weren't working at the Kava Bar in Fayetteville. They were
mhm.
working at the open mic at fucking Little
Yeah.
North Little Rock or whatever Little Rock, Arkansas. You know what I mean? Like that
He
area.
went to the black side of
Yes.
town and yeah.
Yeah. He didn't even go to the black.
Yeah,
He
he was
went
on the
to
chicken
Little
sucker.
Rock.
Yeah, he went to Little
Like
Rock
he left Fayetteville. Like he talks about how like he never did like anything crazy in Fayetteville.
because Fayetteville didn't have it wasn't a part of Chickland Circuit. It wasn't a
No,
part.
not
Little Rock was.
right. But like,
Fayetteville wasn't.
but that too. Like beside the circuit shit, like he's seen where he had to put himself at. You know, it's kind of like me. It's like what is gonna, what's the next? And like I don't want to say next because like I hate to say like I'm searching for shit because I already know what I need to do, want to do. Um, we're gonna look at some of the Boozer film after this. A lot of people haven't seen it. I mean, that was fun, bro. It was fun. It was awesome. It was like, when you find something, it's just like probably when Ralphie May realized like, oh, I can't really keep doing like I have to go to Little Rock.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to do this. And it's like one of these things too where it's like, okay, he had to think at one point too, like, oh well, this pertains to a black audience. How can I be Ralphie May and still make a and I think about that. It's like how do I when I really get into comedy and when I really start doing my jokes when I'm yeah, I blow trannies on the weekends. I love blowing trannies. I love fucking when my best friend we get together, we blow trannies. Even if I said that joke, I need to be able to how to fucking make a black fucking audience laugh,
Yeah,
how
because
to make an
black
Asian
people
audience laugh,
is very homophobic.
how to make a fucking Mexican audience laugh. You know what I mean? And then when the one thing Ralphie May has that a lot of people like look over is like he had balls. He tried it. There's a lot of shit like I'm white too, so it's like I have to try shit in front of black audiences and Mexican audiences. The tranny shit, like yes, black people aren't gonna like that,
Yeah.
but that's figuring out how to fucking how to present this
Navigate that.
joke
Yeah.
to where okay, I know how to maneuver it with a white audience. I just straight up say it. But then I might have to say like, yeah, I went to a fucking Chinese restaurant and the fucking you won't believe it, the guy that was giving me the cock on a stick, the chicken on a stick was a tranny, and I love blowing tranny. You know what I mean? It's like
There's,
maybe a better way to like show them where it's like it's building on to be a joke. You know what I
there's
mean?
a comedian that said it best. He said, anyone can get up on stage and say something offensive, something edgy. The art of comedy is where you if you say something like that and then you walk out and there's people mad, you didn't get away with it because you didn't land that joke for them. You can't
Yeah.
get mad if they got mad at you.
Yeah.
You are the artist, you are the performer, okay? So you failed that night in trying to convey this
I
piece
like
of idea that you have.
I like what Q says. He goes, you the talent. He's like, I'm just a cameraman, bitch. You the talent. Damn, you right. So, like you just said, if you don't get away with it, but
Yeah.
you're not, and like you know what's crazy? What you just said is something that a lot of comedians don't ever think about. We are trying to figure out how to get away with it.
Yeah. And people when they
Yes,
get when a crowd turns on them, they just say, "Oh, the crowd wasn't shit." When it's not necessarily
tough
that.
crowd is a
Yeah,
tough crowd.
yeah, it's not
No,
necessarily
it's just
that. You didn't
you have
deliver.
a tough set.
Yeah,
Like
you didn't
what you
deliver how you didn't get
preach,
away with it. You did not
preach.
get away with it. You ate shit that night.
You know what's crazy? We're talking about this. It's about owning what you say. And I mean, I've said this 100 times, but you gotta own what you say. If you don't mean what you say or own it, because comedians, we say some fucking diabolical fucking, I mean, just some unmarvelous shit. There might be damn borderline fucking racist. There might be hatred. There might be fucking blasphemy. There might be fucking whatever the fuck. But I mean, it's a risk taker. You think about the guy out there who's fucking selling defibrillators. He's taking risks. He knows he's not gonna sell none of these motherfuckers. But he's got to keep going to wherever Bonefuck Boneville and try to sell one. You know what I mean? Think about that back in the day. What's that movie with Will Smith? The Will to Survive or whatever. It's Will Smith where he's selling the
You're talking about
you know what I'm talking about? He's selling for his son and he could barely keep it and he's fighting with his wife and he's selling those and he's trying to figure out how to
the
get
pursuit of happiness.
yes, the pursuit of happiness.
I knew I get it.
What is it? Like what is the pursuit of happiness? Because like you just said, I want to see how close I can get away with being in front of an all black crowd, but making a gay tranny joke where I'm talking about sucking dick and I'm talking about fucking a tranny. But then the whole audience, the whole time the black audience is like, I fucking hate this cracking ass fucking white piece of shit. But then I'm like, yeah, me and my grandpa. Then my grandpa becomes my best friend because my best friend in the joke is my grandpa. And I would have never known that if I shout out to whoever the fuck gave me that little piece to add on to that joke. They were like, yo, your best friend should be your grandpa. And I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of weird. If one of my best friend blowing trannies and my best friend ends up being my grandpa. But it's funny as shit because you think about the joke and it's like, oh,
It's
yeah.
it's a misdirection.
Yeah, because like, well, yeah, because you thought I was really sucking
Yeah.
dick with my grandpa, but I'm just out here fucking blowing a transmission on my 1992 S10. It is a fucking like, it's a risk. I mean, god damn, dude. I mean, you gotta have nuts to fucking do some shit like that.
And with that, let that be the end of this episode. Trash talk.
Trash talk, bitch. We back at it. We didn't give y'all motherfuckers 42 minutes.
Yeah. See you on the next one, guys.
See you on the next one. Love y'all.